Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Titans Return Legend Class Autobot Rewind. A little minion to go along with your Leader Class Blaster. As you can see, Rewind transforms into like a bit of a tank kind of thing, and then a really cool representation of Rewind right there. And it just says works with, and then you're kind of confused unless you turn it on the side, and you see that it works with Autobot Blaster. So that's going to be pretty cool. But for the package, you got the Transformers text right there, the Generations logo. You got a really cool image of Rewind there in the back. You can kind of make it out, but all these new Titans Return figures, with the exception of the Titan Masters, come with the collector card, and you can kind of make that out there in the back of the package. You come around to the back of it, and you can see that he does have a spy tablet mode, they're calling it, which does have a really cool resemblance to that G1 tape, which is really neat. He does have, like I said, a vehicle mode. Kind of looks like a tank, and then obviously there's his robot mode, and it says Autobot Rewind, a mini tank rolls out with Autobot Blaster. That's it. And then you get it in a couple other languages. That's it. But it is kind of cool that they got him as a triple changer of sorts. You know, so you have something that's actually kind of like a functional vehicle, and obviously you can see that it has these little posts, so you can have this interact with the Titan Master figures, which I think is pretty cool. But for the packaging on him, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get him open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Autobot Rewind open up out of its packaging, and as you can see, in his spy tablet mode. Now this is similar to what we got before with the Buzzsaw in terms of, you know, the whole tablet kind of thing. I mean, you come in here to take a little bit closer of a look. You can see that on the screen here, you got like a signal strength Wi-Fi, you got a battery strength, and then obviously the background here is done up to kind of look like his old G1 cassette. I mean, that is really super cool. I love how they actually incorporated that kind of look into a modern kind of take on it. You can see that these are stickers. One thing that's interesting is that the instructions actually show you how to put these stickers on, but the stickers are already put on when you get the figure. Luckily, the stickers are not in a bad configuration on mine. I have seen some people that have had it kind of sloppily applied, but luckily mine are okay. But you got a real nice Autobot logo there on the sticker right there. Well, you can kind of see it, and then you got one right up there as well. One thing that's cool is on the side here, it's kind of hard to get to sometimes because it's kind of recessed in here, but you can see his gun actually stores on the side, and you can remove it, and it's almost like it's a stylus or something, so you can tap things on there. I mean, that's actually kind of cool, and I love how they got that molded in where it fits in there just absolutely perfectly. Again, it's meant to kind of look like a tablet of sorts, I guess. Down here you have a little hole which really serves zero purpose other than pretending that it's a headphone jack. And to kind of show you that, here's my iPhone headphones, so you can put that in there if you really wanted to. It's just, you know, play value, I guess. That's kind of neat that they have something like that. But it also can actually work with the Leader Class Blaster as well. Now you open this up, you can take this out. One thing that I would like to talk about is that there is storage for twin cast here. It's the underside here. They don't show this in the instructions at all, but I'm just going to show it to you. So you have this little piece right here. He sits up there, and then you come around here, and then you got a little spot where you tuck his head in there, and then you can put that in there, and it sits perfectly flush in there, and you can, as you can see, slide that in there still perfectly fine. And then this guy also does slide in there perfectly fine, so you can put that in there, and then you can still eject it, and you can remove it. One thing that's actually cool as well, and I thought about this, I saw that somebody else posted this. One thing, and I don't know if they intended this, but this is kind of cool. You can come around here to the back, and you got all these little screw holes. If you wanted to, you can actually peg that in there. It fits in there perfectly fine, and you can have like a little antenna for your boombox. I thought that was a cool little thing. I don't think that it was necessarily intended. I saw a friend of mine actually post that as well, so he and I were thinking the same kind of thing. But I mean, it just kind of works, and it's still fun that you can, you know, maybe do something like that. But again, much like the actual Titan Masters have interchangeable play value, these guys also do. As I said, he does have a third mode. I keep putting this in there. I should just leave it out so I don't have to keep messing with it. He does have a third mode, and it's a tank. So what you basically do is you take these bits along the side, lift these up. You're going to rotate right there, and then bring this down, and then tab that along the side, and then rotate this bit up like so. Do that on this side as well. Lift this off of the body, rotate that around, bring that down, kind of groove that in along the side right there. Let me see, can I fit in there? There we go. And then you fold that back just like that. And then you actually take this cannon, and then it tabs in right in the middle there, and then it actually is on a bit of a hinge. So there's his little, I don't even know. I mean, it looks like a tank, obviously, but it also kind of looks like a battleship. I mean, the front of it kind of here looks like a battleship. And then, again, you got that play value where you can take these figures, and you got the little peg holes right there, so you can actually have him stand on there. It looks a little strange, because who would just go around standing on the top of a tank? But you do got little pegs on both of the arms so that you can do that. You do have wheels here. You got one here, and then one in the middle. So you can roll the guy. It doesn't really roll all that great, but it can roll. Got nice molded and painted details here on the side to kind of look like treads. It doesn't really carry on the back section here, which is a little unfortunate. But honestly, this to me is kind of the extra mode. I really like that, you know, data pad mode a little bit more. So that, for me, is the primary mode for him. And then to transform him into his robot, we're going to detach these, rotate these off to the side. We're going to spin around like this, rotate that down, and then spin that around just like that. Do that on this side as well. Kind of get these arms out of the way, and then you spin these legs down and then rotate them at the knee, and then you take this section, fold that forward, you create a little foot form. So again, do that there, rotate this around, spin it, tuck that up, bring these arms all the way down like so, take the little chest, fold that down, and rotate his head out. And there you have Rewind in his robot mode. And again, you can have the gun holding right there in his hand, or you got these little pegs here on the side. Well, at least on that side. You don't have one on that side. So if you wanted to, you can have him do it on the side there. I guess it's personal preference. I mean, I don't necessarily think of Rewind as having an arm cannon. I know that Rewind is going to be a huge fan favorite, especially if you're a fan of the IDW comics, because him and Chrome Dome are best of buddies. And I know a lot of people, when they first saw that we were getting this figure and then we were getting Chrome Dome, freaked out. So I know that he is a bit of a fan favorite, but this guy just in general looks really good, and I think they did a great job of recreating that original kind of look as well. Great head sculpt on there, probably a little bit more IDW-esque, I suppose, but still looks really very nice. Coming in to take a little bit closer of a look at it, and then I guess I should angle up. You can kind of even see like this little, I don't even know what you call it, a little, I don't know, maybe it's like a laser sight or something there on the side. Real nice detail here for the chest. You got a nice Autobot logo, good detail here in the arms with the paint and everything. Again, you got that nice silver color coming through on his shins. Just in general, I mean, I'm really happy with how this figure turned out. Articulation-wise, it's pretty good. He rotates here at the head. It's a little bit loose, as you can see, but it's not too terribly bad. The shoulders here are on ball joints, so you get a nice range of motion there. As part of the transformation, it hinges right there, so I guess you could kind of say he's got a hinge that allows for some shoulder articulation. The elbows here are on swivels and hinges, so it swivels at the upper part and then it hinges forward and back, and then you can see the arms are molded, or I should say the forearms are kind of molded in. One thing that is interesting though is, and this kind of does look a little bit ugly, and honestly I just kind of noticed it, that this side is, you know, filled in plastic. This one is hollow. I don't really know why they did it that way, to be totally honest with you. I think they could have. I'm looking at the back here. I mean, I guess maybe you could you filled this in because that's where the gun fits in his like data pad mode. I don't know. I just think that that stands out and looks kind of weird. He doesn't rotate at the waist or anything, but the hips are around ball joints, so you get a nice full range of motion there. And then the knees are also ball jointed, so you can rotate those around, move them forward and back. I guess you could kind of say he's got foot articulation. He can, you know, point his toe or something. But all in all, like a really, really solid toy. I'm really happy with how this guy turned out. Now, some comparisons here for you. Here is a Titan Master. And then here's the Deluxe Class Sunstreaker. So again, being that this guy was a smaller character, scale-wise, I think it works perfectly. I think they're really using this Legend scale absolutely wonderfully now. And when it used to be just kind of like a throwaway kind of scale, you know, with figures that nobody really cared about, they're doing great things with this now. And I couldn't be happier, to be totally honest. Using those smaller characters in this scale just works perfectly. Now, to transform him back, we're going to lower the chest piece, rotate the head down into that cavity, bring that back up like so. We're going to go to his that tank mode first. That's, you know, just because that's the way that I'm doing it. Lift that up, rotate these around here, tuck that along the side. You could do that there. Bring that around. These tab together nicely. Then these swivel down. And, oh, I put that the wrong way. Oops. Okay. You want to cover up the actual data pad sort of thing. You got these little notches that kind of slot everything together here along the side. So bring that in, push that together. Again, you're going to take that, and there you have him back in his little tank mode. Again, to me, it works. It looks pretty cool, but I mean, and I guess, you know, for another tank, here's Terribles. So you can definitely see that, you know, it is a bigger tank, but I honestly think that the data pad mode just looks a little bit better. So we're going to rotate that around, lift that up, rotate that around, and then you extend this down, and then all these little sections here push in and tab along the side just like so. Get that locked in there, bring that down, push that in, and there you have his little data pad mode. And again, you can squeeze everything in there, and then you got the little stylus. You can or you could just take it and you can put it right back in there. Either way, real good toy. Like I said, fans of the comics, I think, are definitely going to want to pick this guy up. While I think that, for me, Wheelie is a little bit better of a figure, I definitely think with what they've done with the comic books has made Rewind a little bit more of a relevant character, and I think fans are going to want to pick this guy up as well. But I'm curious what you guys actually are going to think of this. Are you one of those G1 fans that, you know, datapad mode, I mean, it kind of works, and then you're going to sort of think about him as more of a G1 kind of character, a bit of a minion for the Blaster, or are you going to think of him as, you know, the buddy and companion of Chrome Dome? Where do you guys fall? Let me know what you think. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think. But beyond that, guys, that's about it for Rewind here. If this is a figure that you'd be interested in picking up, he, as well as the first wave of Legend class figures, is currently available right now at Big Bad Toy Store. So all you have to do is click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to BBTS, where you can check out availability on this guy, as well as the rest of the new Transformers Titans Return figures. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, to please like and share it. Also, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you never miss a future review of mine. And as always, until next time, I'll talk to you later.